Hi everyone, this is Val from Valia Craft Studio. Welcome to my channel. Today we continue on with this fourth video. This is a series where we make a French provincial journal from start to finish. In the first video we chose our papers and collated the signatures. In the second video we made the cover. In the third video we made some pockets and added them to the journal. And in this video we'll be adding more pockets and tuck spots, a flip out and a faux glassine bag. Sorry, I had the first signature put aside for a minute. So that's our first one, that's our second one, that's our third. There we're good. Okay, so what I did further on from the last video, we made some of these little open envelope pockets. And one of them was put in our journal, and we just put it in plain, but I have decorated it since. I put a little bit of lace across the bottom and put a little dream sticker there just to make that a bit prettier. And I actually like the lace to hang down a bit below the page on one or two pages in the journal. It just softens that edge as well. So eventually we'll have things, a little bit sticking out the top and things sticking out a little bit at the bottom, and it just gives it a, I don't know, I like it. I like the lace coming out. I like the things coming out the top and bottom as well. Anyway, so that's all I did with that one. And these two I just wanted to show you with those ones. I just added a bit of lace around the peak on that one and a little bit of lace around the V of that one. So they may or may not go into this journal as well, but I'll put them aside for now. So what we're going to do today is we are going to make a glassine bag like this, and it's not really glassine. I make them out of baking paper with a tuck spot on the front, and we've got a tag ready to put in when we make it. And I've just stapled a little bit of lace up the top there, and then with a bowl pin I've hung off a little butterfly tag and a little charm that's a bicycle. I kind of think, French and bicycles seem to go together to me, so I've got the one ready to go in when we do it. And that's what the glassine bag looks like after we make it, but before we decorate it. So we'll get onto that in a little bit. We're also going to add some more of the scraps of cardstock that we will turn into pockets, so we'll be doing that as well. We're going to make 2 pockets out of one window face envelope. This one sort of got a tag there, and you can kind of see through the window face there, and here we've made a little top tuck. Sometimes I just put a little panel here and put it, but I liked that, and that was just a scrap left over. I don't even mind that it's a little bit diagonal at the bottom. I think it looks cute like that. So that's a little tuck spot up there, and then this one has got the pocket at the back and another pocket at the front and a bit of deco on the bottom there. So we'll be making that one. And we'll also make a triple flip where we have the flip going that way with a little pocket inside, and again another one there. This one we could have a pocket on the front. I haven't decided yet. It's a pretty page, but I think probably we will have a pocket, and that will be hinged onto our page, and then we'll add something over the hinge when we do that one as well. And the other one we're going to do is a large journaling card, which we're not going to do a great deal with. It's just one of the panels, which we'll round and ink. But we're also going to make this cute little altered paper clip to attach it to our page. So so that's what we're making today. So let's get started. We're going to start off with the glassine bag. Now you could just use this ordinary kind of coloured baking paper, but I found this brown baking paper some years ago in the supermarket, and I bought it when I got it. I haven't seen it since, but I just like it. I've never used it for cooking, yeah, this I'll just use it for this. Now I want about 9 inches of this, and it's not really all that critical about the size, but let's try for 9. Okay, I've gone too far, of course I have. I'll just do it with this. Sorry, bumbling along already. I want it to be about 9 inches, so that's about to there. So I'm just going to tear it with this instead. Right, so now with this, we simply fold in about 2.5 inches. It's not really critical about the size, but I want to end up with kind of like a tube that's about 4 inches wide. And we can eyeball this. We don't have to be too precise. I think that's 4. I reckon that's 4 inches. It looks about 4 inches to me. Pretty close. So then we have a tube that's about 4 inches wide. And we're just going to stick along the back of that. This went a bit wonky at the bottom, but it still should work. It's a bit hard to really get a firm crease there, but do the best we can to get that nice. And now this will make 2, as I said, so we want at about the 6-inch, the 6-inch mark, we want to cut that in half. And I'll put my scissors somewhere and can't find them. Oh, I'll get a fresh set, I've got more than one. And so about here we want to cut that in half. So simply I could just tear it. Right, so we're just going to make 2 out of the one tube. I don't know if I normally cut it or tear it, but there you go. Do you want to tear in the middle? Right, so now we've got 2. We'll just work with 1. So put that one aside. Don't need. No, we'll make that one because that's a bit. That wasn't wonky on the back like that one is. That one will still work, but I'm going to use this one. So with the seam side up, I'm just going to turn up a little bit at the bottom. Now you could just stick it down like that, but I don't. I want to make it as flat as possible. So I just cut these corners on a bit of an angle. And fold the top one out of the way and just cut off that bottom one. That way you've only got one thickness of paper at the bottom. But you could just glue the whole thing down, it wouldn't really matter. So it's not a big deal. So then put this one back to the side we're working on. A little bit of glue. I should have found my wipes too, because I'm making a mess all over the place with the glue. And then just fold that up and seal that down. Try and make sure it's square-ish. Not too bad. Okay. Now with the top, if you're lucky enough to have some, nice scissors, you could cut the top, or you could leave it like that and do a thumb notch in it after you've added the next bit. So these kind of work. Kind of don't. I'm going to change my mind there, guys, and just leave that. I did manage to cut the other one, but I don't know if it was those scissors. Might have been the other ones. These ones might work better. Let's have another go. That's what journaling's or junk journaling's all about, really, isn't it? Fixing up your mistakes by doing something else. I've become a master at disguising mistakes. And it doesn't really have to be as tall as it was 6 inches. It doesn't really have to be 6 inches, so it won't matter if by the time I get this in a usable state that it's no longer the size I said it would be. Yeah, it's a bit rough. Worked out better last time when I wasn't on camera, of course. But you know how it goes. Alright, so look, that's rough, but it will do for this purpose. Alright, so the next thing we do, you could just use a light piece of paper from the digital kit, but I've got these little panels. I don't know where they came from originally, but my sister collects all sorts of stuff for me and she gave them to me. So I'm going to put one of these on here. Now I want there to be a little bit of brown around the side, so I'm going to have to trim a little bit off. I'm going to trim a little bit off the top. It's pretty, but I kind of want it to be... I like the image at the bottom better than the top one, that's what I'm trying to say. So then, if I was doing a notch, I'd put this on and then notch it afterwards, so you're taking the notch out of this as well. And that still needs a fraction more. only because, as I said, I do like it to show the brown around the edges. If you didn't want to, you could have it cover it entirely. But in that case, why would you even bother with the glassine bag thing underneath? You could just make a tube out of, you know, just normal copy paper, or the 120 GSM paper that I use as well. I could just make a tube out of that and make a pocket. But I just like this one to be like the bag. And so, yeah, I'm not going to ink this because I just want it to blend in on the sides and not be, you know, stand out-ish. I want it to be a blend, which is the only time I don't ink. Try and get right to the edges. And then just stick that down somewhat central on your glassine bag. That will do. Alright, and really all else I did with that is I put on the one I showed you, I put a flower in the middle as a tuck spot. So I can find another flower or something else. I've got flowers of various shapes and colours. I don't really think the peony, I think a rose would be better, so I'm looking roses. So there's another big one like I had on the other one. More peonies. Or we could do this. Put that down there and make that our tuck spot. And somewhere I have this similar thing for the tuck that I had on the other one. But then I realised this could also be the tuck spot. You know, you're covering up the hotel part, of course, but then from there you could, you know, have a little pocket on the front there. So, you know, you could do something like that. But we would lose that hotel cutter skill. I don't know, carter skill. I don't know what it is. But anyway, yes. Yeah, so what do we want to do? Do we want to just put another flower there and have that tuck like that, or do we want to have that as our actual little pocket on the front? I think I'll stick to the tuck spot idea, and I'm going to put it a little bit higher so you still see the other flowers underneath. And I'm going to give this a bit of an ink up around the edges, but also to soften the look of the white in it, I'm just going to do a little overall thing so the white isn't as white. I didn't like it like that. So it's going to be something somewhat like that. So, right, okay, and this is, you do this how you like it to look. If you don't like what I just did, then you don't have to do it, do you? And I just wanted it like that somehow, so you still see the flowers underneath. I've glued too much again, and probably on the wrong angle now. Oh dearie me, let's hope that turns out. And we're going to have our, eventually when that dries, we're going to have our image tucked in there somehow. I've turned it wrong. Well, I'm going to have to revise my plan there. Hopefully that will still work. If not, you know what I'll do? I'll stick something over the top and you won't even see it. But look, well, I haven't given up on this one. That still might turn out beautiful. We just don't know if that's going to work because I stuck it wrong way first. Yeah, I don't think I like it. It's coming off. Sorry. Alright, that one's going in the bin and we'll start again. We'll let that dry and then we'll do something else there. Let's put that one aside for now. That's a little boo-boo, folks. And, you know, look, we all have them, so I'm not going to hide the fact I just made a boo-boo. We'll move on to the next in our what we're doing. Excuse me. And come back to that later. So what we've got is we have some shapes and so forth from the leftover scraps from making our pockets and so forth. And so we're just going to use some of them in our journal. So we've got this one here, which will make a really lovely tuck at the top. I don't know what page, excuse me, I don't know what page we want to put it on, but I think I'll move in a bit. Would we want it there on that one? I think we might, you know what? If we put it there, yes, it's a pretty page already, but it's not really a journaling page, is it? So maybe that's a good one. And this is one I actually added after we made the signatures, really, because I had that one printed up with that pretties inside, and I want glue along the top and down the side. Okay, so pretty simple. Pretty simple, but just using up all those little scraps of paper, cutting them into, you know, shapes that work in our journal. Have I got that right? Yes, I think so. And so just putting in that top tuck there. So that one's a little simple one. The other thing we had from when we made the pocket that had the little flap up the top, we ended up with a strip down the side, which I cut into 2 pockets and put the thumb notch in them. So we could use those in our journal somewhere, and we could put them something like that on a page. So there's 2 on a page, but they look like they're a bit too big for that. So potentially we could cut both down, or just cut one down and have the big one at the bottom and a smaller one at the top. And I think I'm going to try that first. And I'll go to my guillotine because I can't cut straight, not for the life of me. So I'll just see how this looks if we have the other, just one of them a little bit shorter. Now you might have preferred them when they were both big, but I think I like it like that. So I'm going to stick them on like that. And these can also be decorated in any which way we like. And we might even do a little bit of that right now. Pretty basic stuff here, putting in your pockets, really is. Of course, in this kit we've also got some postcards and file folders, and they also can be added to be pockets. And they do look quite effective. Now we want this so there's room for the tag to stick up the top. So we'll put that one there. Now, of course, these don't have to be aligned. You can actually have one offset one way and one the other side, and they still look quite good. But by the time you add some little tags to the top one and some big tags to the bottom one, that's going to look quite good. So just that double one. But I actually think it needs something. It needs a bit of lace or something on it, or a bit of a deco here somewhere. I don't know. Don't know what we'll do with that, but I do have my little kit here of bits and pieces, so we might have a look at what we might add. I don't have the full lengths of lace in there, but I have some around somewhere. Maybe we don't want more pink. Maybe I'm going too pink. What do you think? Am I going too pink on the decos? Or do we want to just do something like, do a little collage here over this corner? I think we'll cover that up. A little collage with some bit of lace, maybe a bit of calico. Maybe a bit of music paper. And then maybe a little, I've got these pretty little flowers, that colour, or that colour, or, you know, a little ticket might look good on the top too. Look at that one with a little, we could just make a little collage or something there on that corner. I think I might do that. I think I like that. Don't want the lace to hang a little bit off the bottom. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm actually going to, which I sometimes do, I'll just stick these ones together, so you don't have to worry too much about the glue on each layer, and then I will just glue this part on, glue that part on, and then I stick this one over the top, and that sort of hides the it hides the paper clip a little bit. You don't see much of the music paper. I could have made it bigger, but anyway, it's just a little element there sticking at the side. Now I have to put that one aside to dry. So there you go, there's that one. And you could put something on the top one as well, but I think if I don't want to overdo it, so up there I might just put something just like maybe just a label. Even some of the date. I mean, some people wonder what the date labels are for, but I actually like them. So, you know, I might do that. You know, I just don't know. just some little ticket or something up the top there to just balance it out a bit. Admit one. No, I didn't like that one. That's just a little scrap of paper that I've cut out from the paper that I'm using. But I think no. I think what about a ticket like that? I think it just needs something on that opposite corner. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. And, you know, like I've said before, I don't always decorate them. I sometimes do just use the pockets plain as they are. Why is that? That's not cut out very well, I think. It'll do. And just a bit of glue, and we'll stick that on just over there to give it a bit of balance, a balanced look. If you don't like that, well, you certainly don't have to do it, but I think that looks nice. Put that over there. I might put it underneath, as you know I do, because I want that collage down the bottom, the laid thick item, to actually be stuck. Put that aside for a moment. We will need it again. Right, so that's just sticking in a few of the die cuts and or just the scraps of paper that are left over after we've made some of our projects into making them into pockets. The next one we're going to do is 2 pockets from a window face envelope. So let me find my bits and pieces for that. So with this one, I use the window face envelope like this, and I'm going to cut it just above the window. So the bottom is one of the pockets, and the top is one of the pockets. And I want it about, and the ruler is where, I want it just above that. I want it about there. Let's do it this way, I think, so I can actually get it right. Right, so that's going to be a pocket, and this one is a pocket. I don't think I did it quite straight. Oh dear. Not sure how much it matters. Alright, so sometimes I don't worry about lining the pocket, but I have started doing it because I think it looks a bit better. You'll see what I mean, but I can't cut it straight. Right, so now we need some scraps of paper, which I've got some here. One of them is going to be used to line. I don't seal this yet because I'm going to put a liner inside the envelope. So when there's no tag in there, you've still got a pretty picture in the window. So that one would work, and so would this one. But this one might be better used to collage the outside. Although that looks pretty, you don't see this very often because mostly there's a tag in there. Excuse me. So I think I'll stick with this one, which is maybe just a fraction. No, it wasn't too high. So this has to be carefully put in there so it doesn't stick the wrong side. So, excuse me, I don't know what's wrong. Got a bit of a issue with my throat this morning. Right, have I done it right? Yes, I have done it right because I want it to come over here, right over in this corner, and stick to the back of the envelope so that you've got that in the window. Now, it mightn't have been the best direction for it, but that worked. You just have to make sure that you haven't stuck the front down as well. And then I just sealed the back because once you put that in, you can do that. Now, at some point, there's going to be a thumb notch in the front layer only, but I'm going to collage the front first. So this will be really pretty to put a panel of that on the front here. So I could just stick it down and then cut it, or does that look better that way? I'll go that one. So yeah, I could just stick it on and then trim it. Sometimes I have a lot more collaging than this, and it takes a lot of scraps of paper to make your to get it covered, but I'll just do it this much this time. I mean, I'm using a fairly big piece of paper, but sometimes I'll have lots of little scraps of paper to make up this, to fill this, to cover the front of the envelope. And then some of these other little bits and pieces are used. I need more, don't I? I need some more. I've got lots of bits and pieces floating around. It's just a matter of finding them, guys. I know I'm going to have some left of this one, so I might just cut a strip off of it for that side there. And just cut a line there, just cut a piece. I might be doing the wrong thing here, wrecking this panel, but we'll see. And I'm just going to put that on there, like that, and cut that up there. So yeah, so this is all we're doing. We're just covering the front of that envelope and avoiding covering over the window. And you can do this in one big panel or lots of little scrappy bits and pieces. Quiet please everybody. Quiet. I know he's noisy, but we don't be noisy. Alright, so then I've got just 2 pieces left, but I actually stick some embellishment kind of things on this, so they're possibly going to cover those little pieces. So if you're not... Sorry about that. A lot of noise from next door and the dog started to get a bit unsettled. So I've trimmed that off now and it's like that. So look, we've got a couple of little spots that aren't covered. There's 2 things you can do. You can go all the way, well there's 3, that you can go all the way to cover, but I'm going to stick some embellishments on this and they're probably going to cover them, but just in case it's not totally covered, I'm just going to put a little bit of stenciling on those spots, so if you see any of the envelope underneath, it won't be as white, if that makes sense. I'm also going to ink the edges of the sides. I'll come back and do the top once I take the thumb notch. And I just love doing this with envelopes. I just think they look so cool. So now we've got that, we've just done the little stenciling for the moment, but where's our little box of tricks? What are we going to put? We could put that down the bottom with maybe some pink underneath it. Maybe it needs the pink underneath that. I don't know. Let's see what we've got in our little box. Is there anything that would work? I've got these really beautiful stamps, so I think a stamp has to be part of it. There's some stamps in this kit that I think are just beautiful, and I reckon one of those there will just do the job nicely. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'll just stick a stamp on that bit. And I didn't need the stenciling then because this does cover, but in case it doesn't totally cover, if it was a smaller stamp and didn't cover the spot, then the stenciling underneath would make sense. Does that make sense to you? And then at the top, I actually really like a ticket of some description up the top there, or a number. I love numbers up in that position. It's very common for me to stick a number up there. What have I got? Got some dates. No, I don't want a date really. Oh, there's one we might try to use. Look at that, Paris. Just beautiful, some of these little elements. They're not all my kits. I buy from various people. End up with lots of different, lots of different elements from different people. So that's the kind of look I like, but I might look for something a little bit wider than that. That's a little scrap of the paper that I've just cut out that we're using. Memories. Memories might work. What do you think, memories? I think memories is a good one. So we'll put those ones away. We'll probably use them still, but I'll put Paris back, because you know if I don't put it back in there, what will happen when I'm looking for it next time? I won't find it. What have we got here? I think we'll be using that, but I'll put it back for now. So I think I'm just doing memories in here. Just make sure it's nicely inked around the edges, and stick on memories. And I sometimes do the big thumb notch for these folded envelopes, but I don't want to chop too much of that out, so I think I'll just do the little one, which is over here somewhere, under this huge mess. Here we go. That was lucky. So normally I would do that right smack bang in the centre, and I don't know how that's going to work now, but let's give it a go. That might work. So just that little thumb notch there, just to the left of the word label I just put on. So there you go, that's the first one. Now I often put a pocket on this, so the pocket can just be simply, you know, a piece of something there that creates a tuck spot behind it for a tag. So you can just do that. But what I did with the other one is I had a little top tuck, but this time if I've got a little scrap, I might make it triangle at the bottom. Now I thought I had one, but I might have used it for something else. You could also just do a, you know, put a circle on and make that your tuck spot. Like, the possibilities here are pretty endless, aren't they? I don't like the look of that colour against it, and we're losing that flower. So I don't know. I might. I don't know what I'll do. And that can go in there then. See, and so you've got that beautiful lady looking out through the gap, and that could hang over the top. How pretty is that? And you probably don't really need anything more than that, and that's such a pretty panel. But I do often put a pocket on this side as well. A little triangle pocket at the bottom, triangle tuck spot, top tuck up there, or just a piece of piece of paper there to be a tuck spot on the side. But I think I'm really liking, because of this patterned paper, I'm actually thinking I like it like that. So I think we'll put it in our journal exactly the way it is. That's what we're doing. So we need our book back, and we need a signature that isn't already somewhere drying. And I think I want that right in the beginning, right here. And I'm actually going to stick it only on the top and the bottom, so it's a tuck spot behind as well. And I want it open on this side, so I hold that side so I don't accidentally glue it, and just across the bottom and down the side. Glue all over myself as well there, but what can I say? Come down a bit further. Have it fairly close to the bottom, so if you put something fairly substantial behind, it's got height as well as the width. So there you go, and that looks really pretty, I think, in there. So put that one aside too. The next one we're going to make is with this little piece here. So this is just the bottom, it's actually the top of the envelope after we take the window part away. And I still haven't managed to make it straight across the top, but you know, it can it can be a bit wavery if I want it to be a bit wavery. Right, just checking how everything's drying under there. What do I need to do here, really? What do I need to do? Yeah, see, it's a bit dippy in the middle. We're going to have a thumb notch out of that, so I'm not going to stress. I'm not. So what I want back here now is my stencil. I like this one at the minute. This is my favourite one right now. And I'm just going, I have got like makeup brushes that are better for applying this, but this does the job. Save me finding something else. And if you don't have all the tools under the sun, then any sponge or anything that you can wipe a bit of ink on there just to give it a subtle background effect. And I'm going to use the big thumb notch. Now there's a chance we're going to find the other punch. No. Bear with me one moment while I find that. So sorry. Right, here we are, we found it. It's getting very grungy. Bits of tape stuck to it and the ink all over it. I gave some of my tools a bit of a wash the other day, but obviously I only washed the top of it. And then of course we do the... Now I don't bother lining this one, but you certainly could if you wanted to have it so it looked a bit less like an old envelope when you opened up took out the tag rather, that's what I'm trying to say. You could just stick affix a little piece inside there so you've got that covered. So, but it's not really that important to me, so I'm not going to worry about sticking that in there. And then what I do with this, you could just leave it at that, but I like to have another pocket, one of the ones from the kit, that will go on top of that like that, and put a second one there. And I'll put it a little bit higher so I could do some decorations on the bottom. So that's what we're going to do. So this will then be a double pocket with the envelope pocket at the back, and this curved pocket from the digital kit on the front, on the bottom. Oops. And as I say with a lot of these, sorry, I'm a bit sloppy with the glue there. No, I want it a bit higher and central. That's not too bad. By the time you decorate it, it's not too bad. Now, go back to one of the earlier signatures. I think we started with this one, so it should be dry. And that's the very first signature, so I want something really nice in that front cover there. So let's see, what do we got in this one? We've got a top tuck there, and we've got that envelope-y thing there, and we've got those. Interesting. I don't want to do that one. I want to use, I think I might do it in the one, this has already got the other half of the envelope in it, and it's got that at the back, so that's got some very pretty pockets in it already. But let's pick another page to put this on. We've got another envelope jigger there. Gee, might run out of pages to put pockets on. Heaven forbid. Alright, I'm going to put on this one. For good or bad, that's my decision. One good thing, if I find, okay, it's too repetitious, I've got too many pockets the same altogether, I can swap the page out from this signature to another signature. Not a problem. So we've got that down there now, and we want to make that, oh, I didn't do that. Oh, I like to sort of really define that little thumb notcher thing. I like it to be nicely inked. And now we're going to put a little something on the bottom here. So what did I do on the other one? I can't remember. Never mind. We won't replicate the other one. We'll do something totally different. We'll get a little box of tricks out again. What do we want? And you know, I said before, like in the first video, and I was picking the papers, that I had some sheets that were French writing. They'd look perfect across here. They would. But the other thing I found I had, and this is just this is cardstock that I had actually cut up at some point, and it's got all these beautiful words on it. So I'm thinking I'm going to just steal a piece of this. It was going to be a pocket, but you know, this is just beautiful. I'm going to take a few of those words out and just use them as decorations. And this is just a cardstock in a pack. I don't know what it is, I can't tell you, but it just had all these beautiful words, and they just make beautiful embellishments. So we're going to have that. That says happiness. It's a very wonky card, and it's still a wonky card. It's okay, it will do. And so we've got happiness. Yeah, we can have happiness. We can have happiness. Where we're going to put it, that's the story. And will we put something underneath it? I think it's almost required that you put something under it, but I don't want to cover the flowers that side, so it's got to be over here. And do I want something? Do I want something else? I've got a few different little bits, like this beautiful, this lace, yes, that lace, that, and then happiness. What do you reckon? And with happiness off the page. I think that. Right, moving right along. I like to have at least, if I'm doing a little layered thing, I always like to have at least 3 layers, but you can have even more. Now I might do what I usually do and staple those two together. So that'll help the paper hold down the lace. Have the lace hanging off the paper and have that on a bit of an angle, and then put this over the top. You don't have to do any of these things. You really don't. You can do however you like. And I want happiness hanging off the edge of the page, but not so far it goes over the spine. That's the spine there. The crease, whatever you call. So there you go. That's that one. So that's using one window face envelope to make two very pretty, I think, very pretty pockets. And it can have another little tag in the front, can't it? It can have something like fur in that front one. It can have more than one. I'll go through the end and just stuff all the rest of the ephemera that I've got in there. And sometimes I've been through my stash and found something that coordinates that I want to use up, and it'll get put in there as well. So it's not all just about the kit, it's about bringing in stuff from the stash as well and using that too. So right, that's our two envelopes done. Two pockets from the envelope I made. The next one we're going to do is our flip out. We've got a triple flip, which I showed you already. And I've got the stuff I need to make it here. So you basically need 3 panels. And let's just check that this is going to work in our... It's not too wide, we might have to cut it down. No, that will do. You wouldn't want it much bigger than that though. I actually might trim a little bit off, but it's so pretty. What side am I? I'll take just a little slither off there. So I only took off about 1/4 inch, but you know, there you go. So we just want to make sure that when we do our flip, when we put it on the page, it's going to fit on the page. So I'm a bit out of focus again here. And then the other piece will be there, and then the postcard will be there. So the thing to remember here is to make sure you have the postcard up the right way, because what I did in the previous one is I put the postcard on upside down, so then I took one of those words I just showed you and covered up where it said the postage thing. So that's why that's got that dream on it. But it looks quite good with that, so you still could do it. You don't have to have exactly as is. You could put a word on it, anything you want. So with this one, we start off inking everything. And I don't know it's going in this actual signature, so I'm going to put the signature aside. I just wanted to make sure it was going to fit. So we've got, I think my ink's getting a bit dry, but I don't want to put more ink in on the pad, because then it's really messy for a little while, and I'm trying to be very subtle with the inking in this journal, so I don't really want to have it messy, as it often is. Now some of these papers did get, some of my cardstock I did make up did have also printing on the back, but these ones don't, so that one does. So the first one does, but this one, well, we don't know if we're going to stick it down or hinge it, but I think, no, we're going to hinge it. This is our flip. Yep. This is our flip. It's the first flip. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. Right, so there's those. I've got another one of those, but that's probably pocket stuff. Right, so let's start off with this. We need a piece of paper, and I like it to be, if I can find where I put that. Goodness me, goodness me, goodness me. Oh, what's a worry. This looks likely. Yes, so this is about 120 GSM. I don't like to use cardstock because for me, it's too... It's just too stiff to be a good hinge. So I'm just cutting myself a hinge here. That's probably too big. Doesn't matter. Just make a couple of hinges. So I just folded over about an inch then, but that was probably a bit wide. Let's go a bit narrower for this one. So you just want a couple of strips of some paper that's... And you could use book page for a bit of interest, I suppose. That might be nice. I might try that one time soon. And so I'm just cutting myself a couple of hinges. And I'm going to make the hinge, that wide one, to be the big one. So it needs a hinge, just a little bit short of it. It doesn't need to go right to the bottom. So you don't want to see it really, that's the thing. So that's that one. And this one can have this one. And I was hoping I had a bit left at the bottom for that one, but I don't. It's not big enough, so I'll have to make it one of its own. So yes, so we need a hinge, sorry, for each of the flip elements. Rightio, so this is our base flip. This one is going to be hinged on that side eventually, but not quite yet. We're going to start with the hinge for this one. So you pick where you want it to be. It can be right at the bottom or it can be in the middle. And so we're going to put the hinge here. So that will be stuck there and then underneath the other one. So we want that like that. Yep. Just make sure you get your hinges working the right way and your things up the right way and all that, and you'll be good. So what did I say? I wanted that to be at the edge like that. And then this part, glue this part as well. And that goes like that. And then this little one, got it the right way up this time, it's going to be like that on that corner, on that side. And then this part, this is coming along very quickly and nicely. I haven't mucked anything up for a little while here. But don't hold your breath, it's probably about to. And then you just work out where you want this one to be. It can be right in the middle, it could be at the bottom, but I think I like it there like that. So now that we've got that done, we've got flip, flip, and then that one. Then we do this last one on this side, and it's going to be, yes, like that. Right, so there's our triple flip. Now, I think I'm losing track of what's in which of the signatures, so I've got to find one where I want to put it. I've lost the middle of this one, it'll be sitting around somewhere. Sorry, I've got dried glue on my fingers and it's yucky. I want it to be on the first half of the signature so that it flips out from this side. I don't think we want it to be the very first. I don't think so. This one's already got some very pretty stuff in it, hasn't it? It's already got some really special pockets. So not that one. I think I've got one under here. I do indeed. Just drawing that one. Alright, so let's see if we can make it. It's already got that one. And this is a middle signature, and that makes me happy to put something really special like the flip in the middle. So it could be that page, or it could be that page. I think if we put it there, that would work. That would work very well. So it would sit there like that on that page. Yes, right. Just going to take this page away for a sec to do this so I don't get glue over everything. It goes in there when I'm ready. So now we've got this that we're going to glue to the page, and we want it pretty close to the edge so that it, sorry, out of frame again. A terrible thought that I wasn't even filming that and press the button after the dogs were noisy. But no, not true. I did it. I did right. We're on. I want that to be fairly close to the edge because that's going to be the flip. So our flip is out, out, out. Now underneath doesn't look too flash. So now we're going to do something there. There's a few things we can do But one of my favourites, like we did that, it's still a bit, yeah, it's not going to cover it, is it? So we could cut a nice big triangular thing to go on there, but I think I'm just going to cut a panel of this and make a side tuck. So it's a pity, but I'm going to cut her off there and just do the flowery part. And we won't waste that because that's really pretty, isn't it? But we've got this now, which is a fraction too long. How's that looking? Yeah, that will be good. And so you'll see that there's something underneath there, even when the flip is closed. So I'm not going to put a thumb notch in this. I'm just going to have it exactly as it is, although sometimes we do put a thumb notch in our side tucks, and we can collage them and make them all beautiful. We will do some more side tucks in another video, maybe the next one, and you'll see all the different things you can do with these side tucks. Well, not all, but some of the things that you can do with these side tucks to just make them, you know, very interesting. But this one's just a simple one. I think sometimes the paper speaks for itself, and I think some of the designs that I've used in this kit are just gorgeous. Gorgeous. So, yeah, so just make sure you leave a bit of room for your paper to hinge there. You don't go too close to the edge. And so there you go. And so now we have a tuck spot behind, and we can put, you know, a card or something in there, in that side tuck. So, you know, if that was just a piece of card, you could put that in there like that. Right, so there's that. So we'll probably do something with this side as well, because that's also not too beautiful. We might put a whole panel pocket over that and just have a top loading pocket. But we also tend to decorate these ones as well. So let's put, what have I got? Oh, I've got these, that's pretty. That would be nice, that'd be a nice pocket, wouldn't it? It would indeed. I want to go pretty much all the way, so just about there. And I'll keep this one for a little tuck somewhere to go. So there's that. That didn't cut right, did it? But that, I want to keep that side. I want the print. So I'm going to cut off the little edge of this flower. How am I doing? Have I got it right this time? Yeah, not too bad. That will do the job. Make sure I can still close my, oops, goes that way. Yeah, I think I'll still be able to close it. Alright, so I'm going to do that. Again, no thumb notch in this one, although sometimes I do. It's totally optional. You don't have to. Really, you don't. It's a bit of interest if you do, and probably, you know, if there's any doubt there's a pocket there, I think it helps to have a little thumb notch to show it. So that one will be there like that, right to the edge, right to the edge. And that's just a bit more of the French writing that I actually like the look of in the journal. Right, so I also want something in here. On the other one, I just had a tiny little, I had a tuck over at the side which had a tag in the side of it. And I could do the same thing, just put a little piece there, and then a little tag. Goodness me, I can't find anything I'm looking for. A little tag could go in there. Oh, it's a bit of a worry. Or do I want that one? Do I put that there? That is pretty, isn't it? And then you could still put the, I'm running out of little things, but you could put a little pocket or something in the side there. Do I do that one? It kind of matches everything then, doesn't it? I think so. Yep, that'll do. And I might put a little, I'll do it that way. That way. I'm going to go that way because I want to take a little chunk out, and I think I like it better where the leaf is. Yeah, I think different size the other way, but that doesn't matter. That works okay. All right, so we got a tuck spot there, a pocket there, a pocket in this one. Now, we also could put a pocket across the bottom of this, but it is so pretty. I'm thinking we don't want to cover it up too much, but maybe we could put a piece of lace across there, a piece of lace, and that could be a pocket, a tiny little shallow pocket. What do you think? I'm not sure, so I'm not going to do anything at this minute. I'm going to just leave it like that, because as I said, sometimes I think papers speak for themselves. So that's a pocket there, a tuck spot there. I haven't found something for that yet, but that's a bit left over, so it might end up being like made into a journaling piece of paper. I'll just round the corners and ink it, and it can go in there, or something else I might find that goes there. But I'll make sure the pockets are all filled, and that everything's got something in it, at least one thing, but maybe more. Even one of those might go in there. Yeah, let's just do that for now. So we've got something in there, and this one needs one of the little tags which are lost. Of course they are. There you go, there's a little one. There's a little one there. So that one can have one of those in it. Just a little one. And you know, you could add something to the top there so there's lace sticking out of it. But yeah, so there's your triple flip. There you go. 1, 2, 3. And that just goes back in our book. And yes, I've lost the doily out of this one. I might have had it there at that page, which I don't want now. So I'll do it at that one. So doesn't that look pretty? Oh, we do still have to do something with that one, but that just might get lined with some paper, or we might put a nice big pocket on. We just got to find a piece for it. So I'm waiting till I find the right panel, and I'll just cover that. Maybe totally cover it with a pocket down the bottom. You know, one of the papers that is double-sided could just be turned up at the bottom to be or you could just put a panel on there and put one of these beautiful postcards which are with the kit. There's 4 of them. Have I used any at all yet? No, and there's another piece of paper that can be just turned into a tag or a whatever. So yeah, so it could be, I'll just put a piece of paper over that, totally cover that, and then just put, I don't like the colourings of those ones. With, yes, that page, I want something else, but even something like that could be a pocket down there. Yep, anything. But I need to cover that panel first, and I need some paper for it, and I haven't got it ready, so we're going to just put that aside and come back to it. Now, something we put aside before to come back to when it dried was this, which I messed up pushing something over the front. Where did I put them? Here they are. So let's try again with that and see if this one would be better. I just it didn't work. As I said, we all sometimes bumble along a little bit, and it's important to be able to say yes, sometimes things don't go how you planned. And I need it to cover there, so it might have to, I didn't really want it to cover too much the print, but it's going to have to a little bit because it's got a bit of paper stuck over it, so I want it like that. I'm going to just glue this part here from leaf to leaf, and hopefully that's going to work out this time. It's such a simple little project, amazing that I could mess it up, but I did. Right, so there it is. And then we had a little card, but we've got these things too, they could sit behind it, yeah, except I don't like the colour of some of them against that paper. But I had a little square thing, didn't I? Yes, that was going to go in there. So that's going to go in there, and it'll have a tag in the back. That doesn't quite work now. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It doesn't matter if it's on an angle, does it? It doesn't matter. And then we've got this to go in the back. So let's find a signature to put this in. We need a bigger tag because I like the tag to stick out the top. But if I do something with the top it will a little bit, I guess. We don't want the flippy one. Let's have this one. This is the first signature. And it doesn't have anything in the first page, and we need a nice pocket for the first page. This isn't the prettiest pocket we've made, but it will do the job. So I'm going to stick it down all over, I believe. Because the glassine is a little bit flimsy, I'm not trying to, the faux glassine is a bit flimsy, I'm not going to try and have a tuck spot behind this. Just going to go like so, and that's going to be there like that. I haven't inked it yet. It doesn't look right to me. Probably other people who don't like the inked look thought it looked fine, but for me, it needed inking. And I like to just do a very light ink on the back as well. So when you look at the back, it's not totally, you know, blaringly white. That's rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. I'll keep that because that's a good little hingy piece. I won't need to cut one for another project now. Now I want a tag for in here, but I want it to be, it can't be her because that's the girl we've got in the bottom. It could be, heavens to Betsy, we're running out of tags. No, we're not. We have got, she's too much like her too. Might just have a plain one in this one. So what am I going to do to make that stick out a bit more? I've got to do something at the top. Well, first we've got to ink. So I could make a hole in the top and put a reinforcing and ring around it, and then put some lace or ribbon in it, with or without a charm. I've got more charms to use. So I could do that. Yes, I will. I'll do that way. But sometimes I just, you know, staple a piece of lace or ribbon to the top. That works too. But I'll get out this amazing machine and stick my hole in with this. Now, I'm hopeless at judging where's the middle of my tag, so I made a little template which shows me where the middle is. This tag's a bit smaller than the last one I did this with. So I'm just going to, should be about there. I know it moved a bit, but I think it was moving the right way. Not too bad. And then I just get these little reinforcing rings, and I like them brown, so I just do my bit of inking. So they're browned up, and then stick that on, just to save it from tearing. Now I've got some pink lace, some pink ribbon, or some yellowish creamy coloured. What do we think? Like, that's the look otherwise. Do we want, and that's going to be in there, do we want pink lace, pink ribbon, or this one? Oh, I think I'm going to go this. Do you ever find that you think it works best if you put these through from the front or from the back? I kind of alternate. I'm never quite sure which way I like them the best. I never can remember which way I like the best. And so now we've got, that's really hard to find a hole there. I might have to put a thumb notch in that because I can't find how to get into it. Yeah, afraid so. Just a small one. That just helped find how to get into it. So there we go. And I actually like these ribbons sticking up at the top of the page, but not that far. Something, but not that far. Oops. So there we go. That's that one finished. And when you put this into the journal, you kind of see that I'll have lace and I'll have ribbons and I'll have all sorts of stuff sticking out at the top. So yes, that is our, what was that one? That was our finishing off our glassine bag, which was the first one we actually did. That's why I'm out of whack now, because I went back to the first one. So the next one we're going to do is a large journal card, and we're going to make an altered paper clip for it as well. Which, did I show you that? I suppose I did. I suppose so. Yes, I did. That's our altered paper clip, but we'll make another one like that now. So this one is too big to be our large journal card. We don't want it quite that big. We want it to sit on the page and not be taken up the whole page. So I'm going to trim a little bit off the top, the bottom, and, well, over on the right, I'm afraid we're going to lose a little bit. We either lose the words or we lose this girl because it's just too big. Well, have I got another one that's not too big? I think I'm just going to show you that's what we would do, and we'll use this one because I don't want to waste that panel when we really don't need it. So we'll just cut out something about that shape, that size, yeah, and ink the edges. That's as simple as it is. That one can be used for something else. So I don't need to show you how to do that. I'm pretty sure you would understand. I just cut a shape that's about that size and round the corners and ink it, yeah. So there's your large journaling card. Now your large journaling card can go into your book simply as attached with a paper clip. And the paper clip can have a bit of ribbon attached to it or whatever you want to do. You can dangle it, a charm. I'll show you that just because I've got plenty of charms here I wanted to use up in this journal, and they will get added eventually. There's this one here which is really special. Look at that. Look, a little Eiffel Tower. I might put that in too. But for now I'm just going to do this little heart. And I'm just going to do it on a paper clip for the mini. Need a large paper clip, which there should be one here on this desk, but you know, it's quicker to get another one out of the tub at the back. Sorry about that. So yeah, so then I would just put that, put this on the page like so, and then before I push it all the way down, I'll just stick a bulb pin through there. And the bulb pin can hang off the edge, or it can hang off the top, or it can hang off the bottom. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so sometimes I'll hang it off the bottom there, or off the top, so it comes out there. Sorry, I just took it right off, but that's okay. Or I'll tie a bit of lace or ribbon up the top there and do it like that. But what we're doing today is we're going to make an altered paper clip to hold this card in place. Now for that we need a strip of paper, and we might use some of this panel we just didn't do anything with then. But I need it a bit wider. That's going to cut off some of the printing. But such is life. I think sometimes it looks good just to have bits and pieces. And hopefully I cut it wide enough. So yeah, so here we go, we've got our piece. Now we want it about 8 inches long, which is the length usually the print turns out to be. And we want, you know, there's some pretties on there, that's all right. So turn your pretties down and fold this in half. I think I've done it wrong. I think the pretties have to be up like that. Anyway, so what we want to do is when we pull this, when we bring this up, you'll have the pretty colours. So having folded it in half with your pretty pictures inside, put your paper clip over the top. Then bring this up so it is above the paper clip, because we're going to have something that's actually a tab as well. It could probably be a bit higher even than that, but we'll go with that for the mini and see how this works out. So there's a basis of it really. So you see in there, that's the part that goes onto the page. We're going to do a few little bits and pieces to this. We're going to round the corners of those, the tabby bit. This one I might not have have it coming high enough up, but that's okay. It's still going to work. It's just not going to extend out of the page quite as much. And I'm just going to give that a bit of a... Right, so having done that, the next step is to stick these down. I'm going to glue this one, put a bit of glue over that paper clip. Sometimes I'll put a bit of washi tape on that as well to make sure it stays in place. But I'm not going to this time. But you could, if you have any doubts, your paper clip's going to not stay where you put it. This one we're going to do the same thing, cover the whole thing including the paper clip liberally, but also do that top bit there and bring this one up to meet it. And that's the basis of your paper clip, your ultra paper clip, and it would work simply like that. Who are we going with? Let's go with this one. So now what we've got is something that would slide onto our page like this. And you'll see already that it sticks up above the page, which is what the look that we're looking for. And it would probably be all right just like that, but we're going to decorate it now so that it's even more pretty, I hope. So I liked, as well as looking through my little box of tricks here, I have lots of various sizes of doilies, and I kind of liked the look of that, which is why I did that on the other one. So I've got this smallish one, I've got this bigger one. I think I'll go with the small one. I think I'll start off with that at the back. And I'm going to decorate both sides, but I'll start with this one here. And you can see there's a girl there, and she's got standing on her head, and the print's all upside down, so it's not really making me very happy. So I'm going to start by sticking that down. I want that to stick up over the page as well, so I want that to extend up the top. Yeah. And then we want some other stuff on it as well. What do we want? We could have a piece of, like, this is really lovely scrappy lace. I love it. Love, love, love. But I've got to make sure it sticks. This is where some of that French writing would be really good. But you don't see much of it at all. This is out of a book. I've got something about being stronger, so I think that will look good. I want that to hang down the bottom though, and that to be about there. But I'm going to staple it, so I'm just arranging the layers at the moment. Now, what do you think about using a bit of this green lace? Would that look good, just hanging down there like that? I kind of like that. But then it needs something to bring the pink back in. Maybe then a pink. What do you reckon? Do you think that's good? I kind of do. Keep that to be the top layer. You stay off there a bit. You go there. And we will staple you guys all together, because it's going like that-ish. This just helps the whole thing stick together with a bit of help of the paper. It's crooked, but I think I like it like that. And then I do want the little pink flower right on the top there over the staple. That's going underneath in a minute to get sealed a bit. But I want to do just a little something on the back, not too much on the back one. I don't want it to be too bulky, so I think just a ticket or a, maybe just something like that. Yeah, that'll do. There's a little French label. I don't know where I got it. Some things I've had for so long, I've no idea where they came from. There you go. So I'm going to put that underneath to get a little bit of weight on it to make sure it's sealed. Right. So where are we at? We have done the glassine bag with the duck spot on the front. We've done some extra pockets using scraps. We've done 2 pockets for a window face envelope. We've done our triple flip, and that's our large journal card with an altered paper clip. So we're about done with this video. So let's just, where did I put my large journaling card? Didn't I have it right here, guys? Very honestly, didn't I? I amaze myself how quickly I can lose things. Perhaps I've left it sitting in the book. Heavens, heavens, good heavens. Yes, I did. There it is there. Where was I going to attach it? I don't remember, but we'll just stick it here. This is probably not quite dry enough, but I just want to put it in so we see the finished article of what we just made. And don't tell me I did it. Oh no, I'm just doing it upside down. Oda. And so again we have something that sticks up above the book. So you start to see what I'm saying, where we have things that protrude out of the journal at the top. And because we put some lace at the bottom of this one, we've got something that sticks out at the bottom. And we'll do at least one more of those in another signature. So we're starting to get a little bit of the textured look at the bottom and the top. And I think it just all just really suits very, very well this style of journal. So I think that's looking pretty good for now. We'll be back in the next video to make some envelopes, some belly bands, and we'll do some more side tucks. Thank you so much for joining me today, and you take care now. Bye.